what is therefore needed, what is needed is to elevate, is to adopt, finally, an international agreement, an international treaty, in the vein as following the 1948 Declaration on Universal Rights of Persons, to elevate the rights of indigenous persons. In addition to this declaration, you may want to look at the ILO Convention number 189 and the ILO Convention plus many more prohibit certain types of practices as well in the field of labor, in the field of law. So, at the international level, the UN is actively involved in protecting the rights of indigenous people. But then what about regional institutions, regional organizations at the regional level? At the regional level, the Inter-American Court, is actively involved in the protection of the rights of indigenous people. In Africa, the African Court is also actively involved in the protection of the rights of indigenous persons. And finally, the African Commission on Human and People's Rights is also actively engaged in protecting the rights of indigenous persons. Gentlemen and ladies, how can we therefore describe the current state of affairs of indigenous persons? Do these documents take away the challenges that they are faced with? Do these documents imply that the problems these persons faced with have been taken out, resolved, etc.? No. Much still remains to be done. And I want to seize this opportunity to appeal to all of us here that the struggle for the rights of indigenous persons should be an integral part of the common struggle. I want to appeal to all who are here, ladies and gentlemen, that we should include the education of our young persons, the topic of indigenous persons. It is incumbent upon us that as we globalize and as we internationalize the university curriculum, we must not forget about the plight of indigenous persons. Their rights are human rights. Thank you.
We're going to have some question and answer time, and then there are some readers that Dr. Conteh has used in his classes, generously donated by the bookstore, that Dr. Conteh is willing to sign if anybody's interested. And then there's some food over here for people to enjoy once we finish with question and answer. So let's go ahead with question and answer.
Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous. Did the United States or Canada or New Zealand, Australia, did they ever ratify or sign the convention, or did they just say they support it?
No, I didn't say convention. Okay? I said, you know, not to take proper notes. I said declaration and not convention. For you can see, you should know better. Because I have read into you that a declaration is different from a convention. A declaration is a non-binding instrument. A convention is a binding document that has to be signed and ratified. This document was never signed. It was simply voted upon. Consequently, if you look in your notes, right, if you go back and look the second week of the semester, I wrote down the principle of pacta sunt servanda, meaning treaties have to be carried out. Declarations do not. Is that okay?
Yes. In my defense, I did write declaration. It'll be there when I study.
Okay. Any more?
No. I'll let others speak.
Dr. Conteh?
Yes, sir.
As a cultural anthropologist, I would like to thank you very much for what you just said.
Thank you, sir.
That's what we do. And I think everyone should be more aware of what's going on out at Standing Rock, too, in terms of rights of Indigenous people. Something in our own backyard.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think in the 24th century, I would strongly appeal to our leaders to continue providing our students with a global education. We need to internationalize our curriculum because these young people are going to graduate into a different world. They're going to graduate in a world where you can no longer afford to be ignorant about what is taking place around you. Global learning is important. Global learning is imperative. It's imperative. I've benefited from it. It has helped me in life. It has made me into what I am. And I like what I do. I like it. I like what I do. I enjoy it. And I will never give it up. The only time I give it up is when I kick the bucket. And I hope that won't come soon. I like what I do. I enjoy it. Let me tell you guys, I enjoy it. I want you to enjoy what you do. I want you to enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy it, ask yourselves, how can you change? But all what we do, don't forget that the young ones are our concern. We have an intergenerational responsibility to them. We have an intergenerational responsibility. Yes, ma'am?
Can you share with us how you plan to continue to share your wisdom and your passion in your new life in California?
Oh, I tell you, I'm not going to hide this. I won't hide it. When I go there, if I have an opportunity, I will continue to do what I like to do. If I have an opportunity to teach, I will. Even if it's in high school, I go. You understand? If you call me, say, hey, come and do something, I do it. Man, what am I going to do with the little money now that I have? You know? I'm not going to look now for tenure again. You know? So I will go and do it. You know? I will volunteer. I volunteer. I will volunteer. I wanted to go back to Ukraine to teach. But because of the political situation, I'm sure I became a good boy. Because the wife would not allow me. If I went, she would kill me. I'm sorry. I hope that is not going to be recorded. I need to go back to Ukraine. So that's what I want to do. Yes, sir.
Dr. Conteh, thank you. Being a person that's been on a college institution for many years, many great years, many moves, how would you say that the way that students are retained, particularly diverse students on college campuses, has evolved over the times, and where do you think that's headed as far as, if you want to give any overall thoughts on it, or just talk about the changes that you've seen over your tenure?
This is a tough question, but I will attempt to answer it. It's a good question. Many years ago, we didn't have a lot of students that of diverse backgrounds here, and even of, say, international background. I attended the first meeting on diversity of the system, together with F.C. Richardson, Bernice Richardson, Marv Gatterson, then Julius Harrington, Donna Roche, etc. And it was at that meeting that decisions were made to encourage diversity, to bring on board diverse people with diverse backgrounds, etc. And I want you to turn around and look in that direction. There is a lady here that most people do not know about, and that is, her name is Babsina. I want us to recognize Babsina. I want us to note that when Babsina was on this campus, she played an important role in trying to diversify our faculty. Much of what you see today, I say thanks to Babsina. Furthermore, she was also very much interested in trying to diversify our student body. Yes, there are challenges. The challenges continue. But mind you, we should not leave things only to administrators. Each and every one of us has a role to play, faculty as well. Students, diverse students who come here, should not only be the responsibility of the various directors that they work with, but it should be the faculty's role as well. Faculty should be involved. Unfortunately,